This is the Prepare for the Design Portfolio Review presentation. We just want to make sure that you get all of the answers that you need for today. I want to remind everybody that we do have a dedicated website for the Portfolio Review site. It's designreview.risd.edu, and it's got a lot of the information that I'm going to cover today. So our agenda is to go through the portfolio reviews, making sure that you've done some pre-flight tasks to ensure that you're ready for the event, what to expect during a portfolio review, and then following up after the reviews. And we'll also open it up for questions and answers at the end. So portfolio reviews. When we look at the statistics for today, for this Wednesday, we've got 91 companies participating with almost 200 reviewers, 63 of which are RISD alumni. So we love having our RISD alums involved and in the mix with the portfolio reviews. We'll be hosting 1,493 review meetings over the course of 12 to 5 p.m. And this will be hosted for 464 students, and they've placed almost 4,500 applications in a lottery system so that they can get a chance to meet with the reviewers that are assembled for Wednesday. And on average, we saw that for every 3 applications, students were generally seeing 1 review come back. And of course, that's just an average. So our hope for portfolio reviews and your experience as reviewers is, for one thing, the nature of this event is a portfolio review. While it may have traits that seem a lot like an interview, it is really intended to be a portfolio review where you are sharing your feedback as a professional on the student's presentation. And as we all know, this is something that rarely happens out in the world. It is typically something where you don't get to hear feedback from reviewers on what they think about your work. So this is a very rare and valuable experience, opportunity for students. Of course, we understand that you're showing up, and we hope that you're showing up with recruitment needs for your own company. And so keeping those things in mind as you're checking out talent is definitely encouraged. We're also hoping that you'll share insights about your company and about the greater industry, really. Of course, that's where you come in with your own generosity to share your instincts about the industry and ways to help the students level up their game and to be a stronger contributor and potential candidate in your industry. And then we always see this as a networking opportunity for students with all of you. And we strongly encourage you, and we appreciate when you're able to welcome students who are reaching out to you either before the event, during, or post-event to engage with you for future networking opportunities. So I'd like to address some frequently asked questions that we hear from reviewers over the years. So one common question is that a reviewer may say that they want to meet with a certain type of student with certain types of skills or expertise. And what they are seeing in their schedule may not look like the student fits exactly with what you're looking for. So we want to reassure you, for one thing, that we open up the reviews to all students from all majors, and they all have equal advantage to getting in and trying to meet with you. During the registration process, each of you indicated what your major focus is. So you could say that you're preferring illustration students or you're preferring architecture students. And we make that public and known to students so that they can see what you're looking for. But we're also trusting the students to make their own judgment based on their interests. And if you know anything about RISD, you know that the curriculum is set up where students are encouraged in this multidisciplinary environment. They may choose to pursue an uncommon career path based on their major. So we ask you to just have an open mind about students that are coming in from different majors and giving them your feedback as a fellow creative and as a professional. So every student asks if I have a job or internship. Yeah, the RISD students, they are go-getters. And of course, they have the spring and employment ambitions in mind as they're participating in portfolio reviews. As reviewers, you do not need to have jobs available because you are offering your time as a reviewer, but don't be surprised if you're getting lots of questions about what your needs may be coming up for the summer. And if you don't have any, that's a perfectly acceptable answer. But any insights that you can share about what your staffing needs may be down the line will be really helpful to the students. Is there any way I can choose the students that I meet? So the nature of the portfolio reviews at RISD, as I've already said, is that it's open to all majors for them to participate as they see fit. And so if you're going to participate in portfolio reviews, you won't have the ability to pre-select. But of course, this provides you a great invitation to post your opportunities and conduct your own job interviews for talent where you make your selections on who you want to meet with. So Artworks is a platform that we provide and would love to see your opportunities coming in. And of course, like welcoming outreach from LinkedIn requests and any other kind of email communications that you're receiving from students to reach out to you, please by all means welcome that outreach and check out their credentials to see if they may have a shot at your team. So going through the pre-flight checklist of sorts. So today, we will be sending out your meeting links. Now, it's even labeled in this email preview that it's a unique link. So the way that our system works is that each reviewer will get a unique link from the system in an email that looks a lot like this one on screen. And inside of that link is a token that identifies you. This way, you're not having to do like a login to get into the system and use the meeting platform. You simply click your unique link, the system knows who you are, and gets you right into reviews that'll come up on Wednesday. So please do not share this link that you get. If you need to add someone to your team, send us their name and their job title and their email, and I can get them set up quickly for you, and they will receive their own unique link. The other thing to make sure of is that, of course, you got your schedule packet. We did send these out last Friday, but if anybody's missing their schedule packet, it's very easy for us to send you an update. And as a matter of fact, we'll be sending a refresh of these schedule packets to everyone just so that you have it for your own convenience. And for some companies, there have been some slight changes in your schedule due to student cancellations. So we'll make sure that you get up-to-date copies of your schedule packets this week. And what does this schedule packet look like? If you haven't checked it out before, this is just a preview of an example schedule packet. So it would have a cover page. It would have the list of students in their schedule with their times. And you can even see here underneath each time, there's a name listed for the interviewer. So if you have multiple interviewers or multiple reviewers that are staffing portfolio reviews, you'll see the names under each time frame that you're responsible for. And then in order that they appear in your schedule, you will get the resume or CV from a candidate. And then if the student chose to submit a portfolio attachment or a portfolio sample attachment, that will follow their resume or CV in order. So you'll notice when you look at these schedule packets, every schedule is typically the default schedule is 18 time slots. So that could be potentially 18 different students with their resume and then supporting materials one after the other. So this PDF can be quite long, and that's the way that this works. If you're kind of confused why you're getting such a long PDF, hopefully this provides an explanation for that. Now, where we're in this virtual environment and using virtual platforms, of course, like one of the stress factors is technical issues. And so from our past experience, a great way to avoid technical issues is to address the following suggestions here. So for one thing, the way that this virtual platform is set up in Artworks, where our platform is called 1220. It is a virtual video platform. It works great. But a couple of things that you should know is, for one thing, please use a computer. Do not use a tablet or any mobile device for your portfolio reviews. It is geared for using a laptop. Secondly, please use Google Chrome. The platform is set up for Google Chrome, and it performs best on Google Chrome. And by the same token, please make sure that Google Chrome is up to date, which most of the time it does this automatically, but it's always a good idea to make sure that Google Chrome is up to date. Third point is, if you haven't in a while, update your operating system. A lot of times we do see some incompatibilities that might crop up from having an old, unupdated operating system on your laptop. So if it's updating Mac OS or your Windows software, make sure that that's up to date. And then lastly, and I'm definitely guilty of this, I might go months without restarting my computer. It's always a great idea before something like this to just go ahead and restart your computer. So what to expect? When the day comes this Wednesday, March 12th, for starters, we're going to have a welcome webinar meeting at 11:45, just before the design portfolio reviews begin at 12 o'clock sharp. So this is just a brief moment for us to gather as a community. We'll hear announcements from our director, Kevin Jankowski of the Career Center, and just giving you some last minute tips and just basic welcome. And then we get right into the 15-minute back-to-back meetings that run from 12 to 5. And we have an asterisk here, like the default schedule is 12 to 5. Some of you have asked to customize your schedules. So if you have it custom, don't worry, it is custom. But most of us are running 12 to 5. And the common breaks, again, like in the default schedule, is at 1:30 and 3 o'clock. If you do have some last minute issues with your timing or some conflict that came up, we have been receiving some of those from time to time. So just reach out to us at RISD Careers and we'll make sure to address any conflicts in your schedule. So again, we will be providing a meeting link, and it will come from Artworks, our platform for virtual meetings. And as I mentioned before, the virtual meetings are provided by 1220, as it's called. So this is not a Zoom meeting. It's not Microsoft Teams. It's a custom platform for 1220. We used it last year, and it was great. And again, as a reminder, the unique link that you receive for your meeting cannot be shared. It's a unique link per person. All right. So I did have a previous video that showed what the experience looks like, and it is a common experience that you would expect with video windows that show your view and the student's view, and then the screen that they're sharing with you. It should be really intuitive. So what to expect when we get to Wednesday? Students will be prepared to share their screen and walk through their work with you. They're advised to explain how their work aligns with your company. So we had a preparation event like this for all students so that they knew what to expect in the event. And we are telling them to be prepared to share how their work aligns with you. And the students are eager for your feedback, including their skill development, whether it's the skills that they're doing in studio or the way that they're presenting their work. Any insights are welcome. The questions that you're likely to hear: what are the top skills you seek in applicants? What makes an applicant stand out? Is there anything you would recommend I'd add to my portfolio? Do you have employment opportunities for interns or graduates this summer? I'd like to send a thank you. What email address may I use to reach you? That last one, we really do hope that you're able to welcome student outreach post-event. We definitely suggest that they network with all of you coming out of the event, and we hope that this adds value to your investment of time and energy in the review. And so more on following up. So please build your network with RISD. Please connect with students on LinkedIn if they invite you to connect. Students you meet will want to thank you, so please welcome that. And students that you don't meet need to build their network in order to get more momentum as they come up on the summer. So I will give you like a little preview after the event. So far, you've received all of the students that ended up on your schedule. If you had more students apply than were able to get onto your schedule, we'll be sending you all of those other students that you didn't get to meet with in a separate application packet after the event. You should expect to see that on Thursday or Friday of this week. And then also, just to reiterate, please come and post your opportunities with Artworks. The URL for that is here on the left, risd.12 and the word 20.com/hire. I will say that when you come directly to this URL for Artworks, posting is absolutely free. Some companies are going through the primary 1220 network, where you will be charged a fee, and that will give you access to all schools on the network. But posting directly to RISD is free. And so at this point, we can open it up for questions. I'm excited that Susan is with us today, our Associate Director. Hey, Susan.
Yeah.
And so I'll take a gander at the Q&A panel and see what we've got in here. So.
Yeah, hi everybody. So sorry for my delay. I was, of course, meeting with a student who's preparing for Wednesday. And try as I might to just usher them out gently, the questions kept coming. So needless to say, there's like great excitement among students to meet with all of you. And I just want to say thank you so much, as Jason's been also echoing, for your time, your expertise. It means a great deal to us, to our team, and to the students. So thanks so much for that.
Yeah. So one of the questions is, will our packet update as students drop or add time slots? And so your packet will not update automatically. So that is why I will be sending a fresh batch of updates to all of the reviewers. And if you do have an update in your schedule, I will make note of it when you receive it. So I don't want anybody to be confused, like, oh, did I get an update or not? So if there was a change to your schedule, it will be noted clearly in the email that goes out to you with the update. Thanks for that question. And then another question is, could you please elaborate on not being able to share the link to the meeting? Does that mean I cannot pass it to my colleague? So I'm glad you asked that question. That is correct. You cannot pass a meeting link to your colleague. So if my name is Jason and I pass this over to Susan and I give her my link, when she goes into the meeting, she will look like Jason. And so we want to avoid that. We want to make sure that we've got accurate information on file. So it's really easy for us to set up your colleagues in our system. Even if there's a chance that one of the members of your team may join a meeting and you're not sure if they will, just to play it safe, send us their contact info. We'll add them to the schedule and they can join as they wish. But thank you for that question. So another question here, with the video platform, does it automatically move you between students at the end of the 15 minutes? Wondering best ways for having an extended time in the event that things are close to finishing and there is a gap in the schedule after. Great question. So the video platform does work really well. You'll see that there's a schedule on the left-hand side of the screen that shows the students that are coming up in order of when they're scheduled. And every meeting has a timer that shows how long each student has been in their meeting. You will get a 1-minute warning before the end of the meeting. That works really well. So it helps you to stay on track and stay on schedule. And students are also seeing that timer. So it helps to like avoid any awkwardness. Like everybody knows that it's coming up on the 15-minute mark for a meeting, and they do run back to back. So this is a great way to keep you on track and on schedule. Are there any joint sessions for reviews, or are they all one-on-one? In the case of a joint one, how would we have two people join the same meeting? Thank you for the question, Dylan. So if you gave us, if you asked to share a schedule, then we are allowing you to share a schedule. So Dylan, if you had a fellow colleague joining you on a schedule, then it will be you and your colleague on the same schedule. Each of you will receive a unique link so that Dylan is Dylan and someone else's name, but you can join to do like 2-on-1 meetings. So and for that matter, if some of you have presented multiple people to share a schedule, and you may intend to have certain team members cover certain timeframes. And so if we add all of you to the time slots, then people can come and go as they please. So I hope that that's clarified things. Where can we find the login for the 1220 platform? So thank you for the question. We will be sending out the links to you today. So your unique meeting links will be coming to all participants today. And are there hard starts and ends to these meetings? Wondering how to handle discussions that run long or students late to arrive? That is a great question. So you will see that your schedule is on the left. You will get a warning sign if you're running overtime, but just so that everyone is aware, like the system does not yank people in and out of meetings. So you do have to like tell the student that, you know, the time is up and to move on. And then you will be in control of inviting the next student in from the waiting room at their scheduled time. So it's not a hard start and stop, but as I said, the notification system does work well to help both you and the students stay on track. With only 15 minutes during the review, do you have any recommendations for how speed things up gracefully and allow back and forth to happen naturally? Last year's, the students spent most of the meeting talking at me. It did not leave a lot of time for discussion. And this is from Keith. Thank you for the question, Keith. So we've prompted the students to be mindful of the time constraints. That may be that they pick the 1 or 2 projects that they think are most related to your studio and give a presentation for that. We also are recommending to students that they reserve time for questions that could be for you, questions that they say to you or questions that you want to ask them. But we are also asking for your own sensibilities about managing this time and helping the students through this experience. You know, some of them, it's their first time and they may be nervous and they may want to do a good job and get into like presentation mode. And so don't be afraid to like throw up your hand and maybe like interject if you feel like you don't want to miss time to get your questions asked. And of course, like 15 minutes does go by very, very quickly. And we do understand that. It's one of the realities of fitting so many meetings into a short time frame that doesn't completely consume all of your time. We hope that this, for some students, could be an introductory meeting where if you are interested in working with them, please, by all means, they would love to hear that you'd like to have a follow-up meeting. And that's fair. That is absolutely encouraged. My colleague and I are dividing our time. Do we still each have a separate link? So as I've explained, yes, you will each have a separate link, and we will likely put both of you on the same schedule so that you can come and go as you see fit. But each of you will get your own unique link. I received 2 links with a list of different students' names in each. Thank you for this question. So one thing that I'm suspicious about is that if you are a primary contact, which means that you were the person that registered for your team, and you may have like multiple people and multiple schedules, all primary contacts, we wanted the primary contacts to have all schedules so that you can oversee how this is shaking out for your various teams. So if you look carefully at each schedule, you should see that there are interviewers listed underneath the time slots for on each schedule. So that may explain what you're experiencing, but if you have follow-up questions, by all means, like reach out to me or Susan. Our emails are here, and we'd be glad to walk through it with you. But that isn't something that I mentioned, so I'm glad you asked about it. Primary contacts receive all schedules so that they know what's going on for their teams. Thank you. Can a colleague drop in and out depending on which students they want to meet with? Yes, they can. If you have a colleague that wants to join your schedule and they're not sure when they want to join in, that is totally fine. We will add your colleague to the schedule and they can come and go as they please. As long as there's one of your representatives present to give a portfolio review, everything's going to work out fine. We plan to have multiple reviewers throughout the day and plan to use a conference room that I can log into. Have you experienced any issues with that? Thank you for the question, Ben. So, the only thing that I would say is that for your conference room, if you log in using your unique link, then you will show up in the window as Ben Harrison, and so will your colleagues in that conference room. I don't think that that's a huge problem, but just do understand that they'll be assuming your identity as part of like being in that conference room. If you have follow-up questions though, Ben, please reach out to us. Thank you. Do you have to be signed into Artworks in order to use the meeting links? Awesome question. So what we love about this system is you do not need to be logged into Artworks. You simply need to click that link and it will put you right into Artworks with your meeting. It works very well that way, and we didn't want people to have to log into Artworks. So even if you've never visited the site before in your life, if you click that link, it will get you into Artworks actively as a meeting participant. Thank you so much for that question. Is there a chat feature on the platform if we want to share a link to, say, our internship application while in the meeting? Yes. Thank you for the question, Autumn. There is a chat function, and you're able to take advantage of it. I will say that it is probably the case that each time that you see a new student, if you have a common link that you're sharing, you may need to like paste it each time that a new student shows up. But that'll be great for you to take advantage of. Does everyone need to have a 1220 account to join the portfolio review? I do really appreciate that question, and I want to hit the point home. You don't need to have anything to do with 1220 or RISD Artworks to be a reviewer in this event. That's what's great about this unique link is it just puts you in with your identity, puts you in the right schedule, and assigns you to the right students. And that's why this unique link is so important. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll be sending this out today. So look forward to receiving that. So from Michael, I know you said our links are unique, but if I would like to add in my landscape architecture colleague for a couple of students, can he jump in too? Thank you, Michael. So yes, just give us the email, the job title, and the name for your colleague, and we will simply just add your colleague to the entire schedule, and that way your colleague can come and go as they see fit. Thank you for that question. All right. If there's nothing else, I'm all out of questions. I'll open it up to Susan.
Thanks, Jason. I'm not sure, Jason, if you mentioned that we will be available throughout the duration of the event remotely for everybody's benefit. So I want you all to know that, that we are here, all of our staff are here throughout the event, and we will be checking the RISD Careers email box. So that's our main email box, risdcareers@risd.edu. That info will be in our follow-up emails to you tomorrow and Wednesday as well. So if there is an issue or concern or problem, please, of course, reach out to us. I'll also say that in the past, if students had arrived to a meeting and the reviewer was not there, very often I would use a cell number to just send a quick text message to say, hey, everything okay? to find out if there was an issue or concern on your end and you weren't able to make it. So just to be aware, we are in kind of constant communication throughout the whole event, just to ensure all things are working smoothly, and hope that they will be for all of you. And no doubt they likely will, but just in the unlikely event that there's an issue, we're here.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. I hadn't mentioned that we are going to be on call in support mode, and we definitely will be. So thanks for mentioning that. And a last question did come in that I'd just like to answer briefly. So it's a question about following up with students for portfolio reviews, after portfolio reviews. And really, welcome back, Manini, who's a RISD alum who's asked this question. So it is up to you. Use your own processes for networking and following up with students. And as I'd mentioned, please welcome them if they do send you email or try to connect over LinkedIn. Another question, and I love this one, is what's the last day to add or remove colleagues? I will say that as you heard from Susan, we're kind of like in the middle of everything, supporting student questions and also like tending to this event. So the sooner the better, really. If you could get us all additions today, that would be great. But if someone new from your team was to come in even on Wednesday morning, we'll do our best to get them assigned to your schedule and get a unique meeting link sent out to them. But I wouldn't want to promote that because, of course, we'll be doing a lot of other things. And I'm concerned about our bandwidth. So today or tomorrow would really be great to send us any updates to your colleagues. And you are welcome. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. As I said, I'll be sending around the recording so that all of your colleagues that couldn't make it today will get a copy, and all of you will also be getting the copy. So if you need to share it with a colleague, by all means. And thanks for participating in the Design Portfolio Review. It's such an amazing opportunity for students, and it wouldn't be anything if you didn't all join in on the fun. So thank you very much. And we'll see you Wednesday.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.